In the Bible, Romans chapter 7, verse 15 through 20 says, I do not understand my own actions, for I do not do what I want, but I do the very thing I hate. Now, if I do what I do not want, I agree that the law is good. So then it is no longer I that do it, but sin which dwells within me. For I know that nothing good dwells within me, that is, in my flesh. I can will what is right, but I cannot do it. For I do not do the good I want, but the evil I do not want is what I do. Now, if I do what I do not want, it is no longer I that do it, but sin which dwells within me. Lustful thoughts, lashing out, gluttonous acts, whatever it may be, there's something that we all do in our lives that we know we shouldn't do. And I'm just like you. Sometimes my eyes do too much when I see someone attractive. Sometimes my mind does too much when I see too much. Sometimes something annoys me enough to make me act on my anger, which I know will get out of hand if I let it. Sometimes I get the urge to eat more than enough, even though I know I shouldn't. I have physique goals. In Proverbs chapter 25, verse 16 says, if you have found honey, eat only enough for you, lest you be sated with it and vomit it. I remember back in February, during a holiday, me and my family went out somewhere to check out an event and ended up eating some local meals and basically buying some sweets and stuff like that. And not only I let myself have a bunch, which was fine, but until the hour I went to sleep, I completely overdid it. I ate two big tortillas that I made, loaded with meat, veggies, a bunch of sauces, and if that wasn't enough, maybe about 30 minutes later, I ate a big bowl of cereal, if not two. I knew I shouldn't have done it. I knew I would feel horrible, and yet I did it. That night was rough. I had a pretty bad diarrhea, and of course, slept very poorly. And the next day or two, I had to suffer for it. It was one of my worst gluttony days in a while, and I don't want to repeat that ever. But you don't have to go completely over the top in order to sin. I still have days I cheat on my diet and eat more than I should. Yes, I do break rules that I set myself, but not having discipline and willpower to stop it isn't good either. I have a bad food addiction, and if I don't track, I'd be a lost cause completely. Or with lust, I can have a good streak, and then it happens again just because I tempted it. I let it tempt me. And that's how one falls back into it every time. Or with anger. I know I shouldn't be watching triggering content so much. I know I shouldn't spend as much time in the comments than I do. And even if I can defend someone or an idea, I know there's no point in getting into arguments. And yet, I still do it. I don't know why, but I keep ending up in these situations. And I admit it's absolute hell to get out of them. There have been instances where I end up humbling myself and apologizing to whoever I was arguing with for things I said, and multiple times their response was understanding because I was acting off emotion more than they did. Now imagine something like that happening in real life, or even on a different level. To what actions could my anger lead me to? I'm glad I never found out. The most I did was harm myself enough for my hand to break, but that's another story. And the time frames when lust isn't on your mind, you can really appreciate who a woman really is. Or if you are a woman, it is the same with a man. You can look her in the eyes, notice the small things, her tone, her demeanor, her body language, all the things that add up to have a good communication. And lust snatches all of that away. Instead of conversations, connection, activities, forces your mind into wanting one thing, which completely disconnects you from reality. When you evade lust for long enough, you start to see progress in that. You're no longer shaking so much, no longer stuttering so much. You can finally find more things to say to her. Instead of an object, you see her as a sister in Christ. After a decent nights of sleep, a good breakfast does a lot. You eat enough to be full, give yourself energy for the day, and move on. You know you don't need to eat more. You don't need a snack yet, and so you continue the day and do the same with every meal. When gluttony isn't on your mind, you feel more free, you feel lighter, your body starts to perform better than you expected to. It doesn't have to keep digesting your addiction. It's hard, especially if you live with a family with people who aren't tapped in the lifestyle you are in. They snack, eat whatever they want, however much they want, however they want. So the temptation is always there, but what matters is if you will give in. Failing to do the right thing and doing the wrong is in our nature. We will always sin, however hard we try not to, which leads to stress and eventually more sinning. The path we are all on is long and difficult. With Joshua chapter 1, verse 9 says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go."